Hey there, I'm John. Venti Kid is the username. Word. So, yeah, I've been a wrestling fan since diapers. That's awesome, right? You know, like shitting in my diapers, and I was totally rooting for the Macho Man, yeah! Randy Savage, brother, dig it. And, I'm pretty pissed that he's not around anymore. But, all the crying in the world ain't gonna bring him back. So, I guess I'll get over it, move on, and try to focus on today's talent, like for real. And, if you talk about today's talent, I guess one of the first things I should do is say that I've got my own little predictions for what's going to happen with Night of Champions and all that. Not really a big WWE guy per se. Like, I kind of like TNA better. I just think they have a more talented roster, even though neither company right now seems to be like pushing guys or like using guys right or whatever. It's really, all this bullshit opinion stuff is really what we thrive on and kind of cut each other's throat at the same time. So, hell, I'm on a fucking webcam sharing an opinion. Sue me. Let me see here. So, yeah, let's talk about Night of Champions. A bunch of matches on the card. I don't really know what they are off the top of my head. I can tell you, what I'm most excited for. Like, wow, I'm kind of excited about. Would be Mark Henry. I say a lot, by the way, and I'm not going to apologize for it, so fuck you. That's what I do when I get nervous. It's my first video, so give me a little fucking credit, When we're talking about Mark Henry, yeah, Mark motherfucking Henry. Thank you, Off the Rope Show, by the way. I really watch you a lot, and I comment on all your stuff, so cool. Like, for real. I believe what Smokey believes, and, I really want to see something else done with that World Heavyweight Championship besides Randy Orton. Because if you ask me, putting Orton on SmackDown in the first place was just like, ugh, why? More? Like, really? Sure, it got him off Raw, but then I had to watch him on another show, and the same old shit. Just him dominating a bunch of other fucking people that really deserve better. I guess, with me, I've been a Mark Henry fan for a really long time. Ever since, like, The Nation. Yeah, around then. Like, he's done a lot for that company, to put people over, and he's always that, like, one guy in that, like, Money in the Bank match that is like, well, maybe it's Mark Henry's year. Shit, he's been in 12 of these, so, it's just, you think about it a lot. Does he deserve it? Fuck yes. And is he going to have a whole lot of years left with the company? No. He's just getting old, like everybody is. Anybody that, I really am relevant with or give a shit about seems like they're on their way out, Like, even Jericho isn't around anymore. And, sad as that is, like, even if he does come back, what's going to happen? Like, he's going to be on top again for a while, and then they're going to have to use him to catapult somebody else that plans on sticking around. So yeah, like, let's not totally bash the hell out of Orton. To get to be a professional wrestler, you have to obviously do a lot of stuff. So, the guy's got some sort of talent. Whether it's sucking cock or not, I can't really say. But like, I'm sure he'd come in here and beat my ass, and whatever. But fuck you, dude. I don't really like you, so it's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. But for real, like, I'm really tired of him stomping the shit out of somebody in a match, and like being on top all the time. I really think that, if you want to transition some new people into that main event scene, like Mark Henry would be a good guy to do it too. I can totally see where people are coming from, not necessarily wanting to drop the belt to Henry right now, because maybe this could prolong the feud, make it even more gritty, but in all honesty, if Mark Henry doesn't win this belt after all the shit that they've been doing with him the past couple of weeks, it's like, why did you do it in the first place? Make him look like a monster heel, that totally has the advantage going in, and then, by some miracle, Randy Orton gave him the fucking RKO, hooray! Like, and I'm so sick of people that have, like, the same moves list that never changes, like, fucking 4 moves to doom Cena or whatever. Like, honestly, come on. Do something. You've been in the business long enough. You can at least make up a move set. Just me talking off the top of my head again. I think Henry deserves that push. He needs to really legitimize himself that, he was a main eventer and a champion for that company, and not just, some big black guy that Vince said, oh, that would do good to, have him on the show because he looks intimidating, but let's never really do anything with him. Let's give him that one angle, like, back in the day when he was making love to a, 90-year-old woman named Mae Young, and she gives birth to a hand, which was supposed to be his son, which, whatever. Or the time he made out with that transgender, transvestite, whatever the hell it was, Sammy, during that whole thing, too. I mean, like, this guy's done a lot of shit for your company, and taken a lot of static, so, really, I mean, like, he never went anywhere, either. It's not like he decided he was going to take time off and, join another fucking wrestling company or anything. He's been with them forever. Ever since I remember watching, the product. And speaking of the product, I mean, like, yeah, everybody's going to compare shit to, the Golden Age and the Attitude Era, and, like, for one, I find myself doing it too, and I'm trying to be more open-minded, but, I mean, shit, like, let's face it, we're a product of our environment, and we like what we like, when we like it, how we like it, how we expect it's going to go. Everybody's different, and everybody's got their own kind of, like, projection. When I watch a match, I'm projecting my own assumptions onto it. I expect a certain outcome. I just think that, like, that if they could really emulate that a little bit more, and pay a lot more respect to it, like, that would do a lot more for the business than just the way that it's been going. So, well, I managed to talk about one match for Night of Champions. Let's kind of see what else I think of here in the next few minutes. Shit. Oh, let's talk about Cena. I don't like Cena. Sorry. I know that, like, tasteless Tony T and wouldn't really get along with me right now, and I'm okay with that, because, ever since Cena got to that main event status, it was just, like, great. You could tell that they wanted to put all their eggs into this guy's basket. I mean, at least even then, though, like, Big Show was champion back then. He was actually active in wrestling, and, they still had Triple H in the scene for a while, but, I mean, I've never really been a big Triple H fan either, so, I mean, like, fuck that. Like, I would take Shawn Michaels any day over Triple H. I think he's, phenomenally much more talented, even if he is older and retired. I mean, who gives a shit? Like, I'd rather see Ric Flair wrestle than Triple H, because I don't like the guy. I think that, sure, he did a couple of things that were good for business, and he helped WWE grow, and, the Attitude Era and shit, and he was one of the guys that kind of hung on that whole transitional phase when, they bought out WCW, and a couple of the other guys were getting over, and he had, like, a rivalry with Goldberg and shit, and Scott Steiner, and, I mean, he helped to legitimize the fact that WWE had those titles and that they had bought out, the WCW company. But on the same hand, you figure, like, he held down a lot of guys too, and it's like I don't understand why, like, with him and Punk, like, this is totally getting off the Cena topic, but whatever. It's my goddamn video, and you're gonna listen to it and like it, or you can just stop watching, which really won't offend me because this is my first video. I don't give a shit, so whatever. Yeah, with Triple H, man, like, I mean, like, there were people on the roster that had to cut their fucking hair because it reminded other people that, they might confuse you with Triple H, and it's like, dude, he's a fucking blonde, and whatever, but it's fine. Or people that had to shave because, that's Triple H's look, you can't do a beard, and it's like, more than one guy can have a damn beard. I watched wrestling in the 80s. We never confused Hacksaw Jim Duggan with Macho Man Randy Savage, brother, yeah. He just didn't do that, or Dr. Doom, Dr. Doom. I'm getting on comic book here. I'm a little bit helter-skelter, sorry.